Well, the number of Syrian refugees in Turkey has reached more than 600,000. Children make up almost half that number, and one of the main challenges they face is getting an education. The Turkish government is responding by building some 55 schools across the country, but experts believe much more is needed. CCTV's Michal Bardavid has details.
It is estimated that there are almost 4,000 children of school age just in Istanbul. The government has begun building schools, but not nearly sufficient enough to cover the number of students eager to go back to school. Some Syrians with the necessary means have taken matters into their own hands and built their own private schools. The Al is one of those few schools in Istanbul. Almost all of the expenses were paid by the owner and principal of the school, Semih Ali Sheikh, an educator of 35 years. The only aid they received was of 11 chairs and 11 lockers. This non-profit school has 300 students, 35 Syrian teachers, and 1 Turkish teacher. It has no playground. One of the teachers, Ömer Hurşid, explains how they try to cope with some of the difficulties they are facing.
The children have experienced a big gap in their education. In order to place them in classes, we give them a test to see what level they are at in their studies.
Aside from the learning, there are other challenges Syrian families and educators are worried about for their children. One of the major issues that needs to be dealt with is the psychological trauma these Syrian children have experienced during the war.
They relive the experiences they had. They are frightened when planes fly over the school.
Although fear is associated with Syria for these children, it is still what they call home. In the meantime, as the Syrian crisis continues, helping the children adapt to life in Turkey is a priority for the Al school.
The students take practical Turkish language classes, and they are also taught the Turkish culture. We want them to be able to connect and make friends with local children here.
This is the first time the Turkish government is having to deal with such a massive number of refugees. Although housing and medical treatment are the main concerns, education for the thousands of Syrian children will most definitely continue to be a challenge in the years to come. Michal Bardavid, CCTV, Istanbul.